Hello, my lovely viewers. Welcome back again in speaking session. In today's lecture, we will talk about barriers or problems that involve in your communication. When you are trying to communicate with someone, then what kind of barriers, what kind of problems came in the way of your communication? What kind of hurdles you have to face when you are trying to speak, when you are trying to communicate someone, when you are trying to exchange your ideas? So what kind of barriers? Today we will talk about these barriers that came in the way of your communication. So there are many barriers that came in the way of in your communication, but throw lights some of them. Let's start these barriers or problems. First one is difference in language. Second one is difference in understanding level. Third one is difference in perception in reality. One is problem values, behavior and attitude. One is difference in social behavior. One is emotional state. Seventh one is stereotyping. One is gender. And last one is noise. These are the barriers that came in your communication skills, in the way of your time, in the way of your talking, when you are trying to exchange your ideas one person to another, when you are trying to convey your information one person to another, then they have a lot of different schemes in the way of your communication. In the vast world, peoples are not alike. They are different in color, language, behavior, attitude. So all the things can be happen in your way of communication. If sender will send a message but receiver can't understand, then it take place misconception, it take place miscommunication, and it's a very big hurdle in the way. First hurdle came in the way of communication. It is difference in language. You know that when you are trying to convey your message to other part of the world, there will be misconception about language. You are using appropriate words, but other one is not understanding your language. You are from Pakistan, other one may be from Australia, India, Canada. So it can be from different countries. So it take place misconception. When you are trying to send a message, then you should use appropriate and precise words. You should concise sentences so that other one understand clearly. If you will use complex words, complex sentences in your communication, then maybe other one can't understand your level of language, your level of communication. Take place misconception, it take place miscommunication, misunderstanding. So for the sake of conveying your ideas to other one, you should use proper language, you should use language according to other person point of view. Use complex language, if you will use difficult language, if you will difficult sentences, then other one can't understand and your communication is useless. There is a no such kind of advantage, there is a no benefits of your communication. If your message can't be sent to other one, then it is a miscommunication, is a barriers that came in the way of your speaking, in the way of your communication. Problem that came in the way of your communication: difference in understanding levels. It means that for effective communication, you should use appropriate word. Your mind and other person mind should be match. Your language and other person language should be match. If you will use English language but other person can't understand English language, then it can create hurdle both of you. And if you want to keep away, if you want to clear your ideas, then you should use words according to the mind, according to the mental level of other person. If you will use easy word, if you will use all the words according to the other person perspective, then you can convey your message to anybody without any problem. So it is a very big point you should keep in mind. You make a mind about this when you are trying to convey your message. When you are delivering your speech, then you should talk according to the situation of others. I am here for presenting myself, but my audience can't understand me, then it is the useless. My communication is useless and my ideas are useless. So for the sake of conveying best ideas, for the sake of conveying good ideas, I have to use same words that can understand other one in my communication. If I will use different words, if my mind level and other person mind level will not match, then it take place miscommunication, and it is a very big problem in the way of your communication. One is difference in perception in reality. It means that for effective communication, your ideas should be based on reality. You shouldn't use inappropriate word. You shouldn't use inappropriate conception. You shouldn't use unauthentic words in your communication. If you will send any kind of information that can create hurdle for other, then your communication is useless, can create complexity among of you. So for keeping away, for delivering your message, for effective communication, you should use reality. You should use real talk. You should use real ideas. You should use real thoughts, feelings, ideas, so that other one can understand. Because in the vast world, there will be lot of misconception in the way of your communication, due to evaluations, due to indifferences, due to new ideas that can be generated from your side, but other person can't understand you, then it is a very big problem in the way of your communication. So for the sake of conveying your information to other, you should keep in mind, you should use reality based message. For and fourth one is problems involving value, attitude and behavior. It means that your habits should be sweet, your ideas should be proper manner. Like if you are sending information, if you are talking someone, then your habits, your temperament, your feeling should be matched with other one. If your temperament, if your attitude can't be matched during your communication, then it creates so problems in the way of your communication. So if you want to convey your exact information for effective communication, for effective message, your attitude, your behavior, your values, your personality and your talking style should be according to the other person. If you will use rough language, if you will use non-formal language, then it creates so many problems in the way of your communication. Use formal language, your behavior should be good, your ideas should be good, your language should be appropriate, your sentences should be appropriate, short and concise. It should be precise so that other person can understand without wasting his time. Difference in social behavior, your communication should be according to social background. Like if you are exchange your ideas, then you should check other person according to social perspective, its background, its environment, its surrounding, its language, its way of talking. All the things you should keep in mind, because if your behavior, if your social environment will be matched, then there will be effective communication. If all the things will not match during your communication, then it create misunderstanding in your communication. So if you want to deliver, if you want to become a good speaker, then your communication should be good, and you should check all the things. You should check pros and cons of receiver in your communication. If you will not use if you will not use appropriate words, if you will not use appropriate language according to social perspective, according to environment, then your communication is very useful, and you have no advantage of it, because other person can't understand you and you have to face so many problems. Sixth one is emotional state. Emotional states means you should check the mind level of receivers. For example, when you are talking to someone, then other person, if you think that he or she is angry, then you should use that kind of words that can not hurt in real. You should use that kind of language that can be in peaceful manner, that can not disturb too much due to your communication. So when you are trying to deliver your message, trying to convey your message, then you should check the mind level of the receivers. Like if you are exchanging your ideas but other person in an angry mood, he is not in a happy mood, then you should talk according to the situation of the receiver. If sender will be in angry mood and receiver will be in happy mode, then there will be a misconception. So for the sake of effective communication, sender and receiver in the same mental level, in the same situation, in the same credibility, then there will be a good effective there will be effective communication take place, and there will be no chances of misconception, misunderstanding of communication. Seventh one is stereotyping. Stereotyping means when you are talking to someone, then you should clear now about the understanding of the receiver. Like if you are a student but other person is a salesman, then you have to talk like a student. You don't adopt the attitude, behavior according to salesman. You will use language according to student perspective, but other person is a salesman, he can't understand you. So for effective communication, you should be clear and there should be no stereotyping. Stereotyping means there will be no ambiguity, there will be no negativity, there will be broad-minded conception, there will be broad-minded information. Maybe you are broad-minded but other person is narrow-minded, then there will be misconception, there will be misunderstanding, there will be miscommunication take place, and your communication will be useless. So for effective communication, you should judge the abilities of receiver, you should check the mental level of the others, so that your communication will be sent to other person successfully. Eighth one is gender. For the effective communication, you should keep in mind if there will be a gender difference, if there will be a difference between men and women. Gender means you should know about the difference of male and female. Like if you are exchanging ideas according to male perspective, maybe one is female. Gender perspective, you should keep in mind, you should convey your ideas according to male or female perspective. Like the whole discussion, we conclude that if you want to become a good speaker, if you think that your communication will be effective, if you think that your message take place effective, then you should avoid barriers, problems in the way of communication. You should keep in mind all the said points I discuss in the video all the time. When you are trying to exchange your ideas, when you are trying to convey your message to anybody, then there will be no these kinds of barriers, and there will be no hurdles, there will be no complexities. If you think that there will be no misconception, if you think that there will be no misunderstanding, then you should avoid from all the barriers that came in the way of your communication.